And you think like, man, kicking the TV shouldn't work.
It does sometimes.
Yeah.
The old TVs.
It did.
My grandpa used to slap the top.
For sure. Yeah.
It would work sometimes.
Yeah, so this deep brain stimulation implanted devices in the brain that have changed people's lives for the better, like fundamentally.
Well, let's talk about what you can talk about to what Neuralink is, because the last time you were here, I really couldn't discuss it. And then there was, a press release, something that sort of outlined.
Yeah, sure.
That happened quite a bit after the last time you were here. So what exactly is it? How do you do, what happens if someone ultimately does get a Neuralink installed? What will take place?
Hey, Shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem, Ruach HaKodesh, that want to see apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations and blessings to you brothers out there pushing the truth across the four corners of earth, risking your life to do so. All right, and any of you Aqua who are listening and learning as well, I'm the brother Shaman from Great Millstone, St. Louis. As you can see, the devil is busy. Just like brother said he was. The whole pandemic and the whole hoax and the masses of people who are going in hysteria. You have them, and then you have the guiding force, the guiding hand of these elites. All right, which Elon Musk, he's a part of that. All right, because I believe he was born in South Africa. And then, he went on to become a billionaire, and through all this technology and because the basis of Esau's technology, just like the scriptures tells you, is Satan giving them that power, them praising and worshiping these demons that give them that power. All right, that's why a lot of these visionary Edomites, the Steve Jobses and all these other guys, they're into all kind of drugs, they're into all kind of hallucinogens, all these popular super pharmaceutical drugs that you see. All of these things, they begin with these elite scientists and chemists, and they come up with new ways for them to hallucinate and get in touch with with demons, and then it trickles down to the masses of the public. All right, because when you hear about these different drugs and stuff, the new shit that some regular guy, in his house, he couldn't come up with that shit. It takes somebody with a greater understanding of chemistry and physiology, and then they have to have access to certain raw materials and a lab and all this high-grade pharmaceutical shit for them to come up with this kind of stuff. All right, and this is 2 Thessalonians, because this is something that's been warned of. From the ancient world. It said, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. And that's exactly what happened. We had to fall away from our heritage. We fell away from all of these things that you read about in the scriptures. All right, but now we're back. And then also along with us, that man of sin, who's Esau Edom, is revealing itself. And what do you notice about all these implantable devices? They all either go in your head or they go in your hand. Every last one of them. All right, and even if they don't, guess what? It still counts. It's still in your possession. All right, and these Edomites, they have to follow. They cannot veer from the scriptures. They have to follow the scriptures. On the left hand side, they have to play the part of the wicked. All right, so they can receive certain. The scriptures talks about that. They have to, because they can receive certain validation and certain riches. They have to play that part. All right, because that's part of a lot of the wicked, doing stuff for that money, doing things for filthy lucre. All right, and that's what Elon Musk and the rest of the scientists behind this stuff. That's how they operate. All right, I said, who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called Yahweh, or that is worship, so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of Yahweh, showing himself that he is Yahweh. And that's all that he's done, is tried to play God. All right, that's one of his greatest visions, his greatest movies. Edomites playing God, different scenarios, robots, androids, and artificial technology, all of that shit, because they want to play God. All right, putting their image up, a white man as the Most High. Okay, creating these different temples where they sit on high as the gods. Okay, it says, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things? And know ye now what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time, right? And this is that time for him being revealed. Because they've always revealed themselves, but really now that they're sitting in that power seat, they're really showing you who they are. They don't have to reserve anything. It said, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work, only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And the time is coming for Esau to go down. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. And let's jump back to it, because he's going to go more into detail. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm just going to play a small part of it. You should listen to the whole thing, because the things that they have planned, man, it's going to be some crazy shit. It's going to get ugly.
Well, for version 1 of the device, it would be it basically implanted in your skull. So, but it would be flush with your skull. So you basically.
Oh, and another quick thing, man. Joe Rogan is totally in on it. Him mentioning it last time, that was just like the other celebrities, that was a press run for it. All right, this is all part of a press run to introduce it to the public. And then, during the quarantine and stuff, the whole problem reaction solution process, all of this is part of that.
Take out a chunk of skull, put the Neuralink device in there. You put the electrode, you'd insert the electrode threads very carefully into the brain, and then you stitch it up, and you wouldn't even know that somebody has it. And so then it can interface basically anywhere in your brain. So it could be something that helps cure, say, eyesight, like returns your eyesight, even if you've lost your optic nerve type of thing.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Hearing, obviously. Pretty much anything that it could, in principle, fix almost anything that is wrong with the brain, and it could restore limb functionality. So if you've got interface into the motor cortex, and then an implant that's that's like a microcontroller in your muscle groups, you could then create a sort of a neural shunt that restores somebody who's a quadriplegic to full functionality.
And that's exactly an example of them trying to be the Most High. Hey, if you're in that position, where the Most High has put that curse on you, we don't glorify that the Most High cursed anybody, but that's just something that you got to deal with. All right, this man wants to go inside your brain and rewire shit and change shit. Nah. All right, make no incisions in the flesh. This is new shit. This is some other shit right here. Who gave these people the license to do that? But the thing, people who are in these positions where they've been cursed, which if you're in that position, that's a curse from the Most High. Pray for mercy and seek a cure. Whatever it might be, just pray for mercy and seek a cure. But it's not. Them going in your brain, that's not gonna help. But you're gonna have a lot of people who volunteer for this kind of stuff because they trust in the what did it say? Yep, even him who's coming is after the work of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, right? And that's exactly what this is. This is a lying wonders. Yeah, we can put this in your brain and help you, and you can become, all powerful.
Walk around, be normal.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So
maybe slightly better.
Slightly better?
Over time, yes.
You mean with future iterations?
Yeah. Like the $6 million man. Although
right.
These days that doesn't
That's
seem like
cheap.
much. Yeah. Yeah.
$6 billion man.
Yeah.
So the hole would be small. How big would the hole be that you have to drill and then replace with this piece? There's only one hole?
Well, yeah, the device we're working on right now is about an inch in diameter, and your skull's pretty.
That's a chip. That's a chip right there. That's the chip.
Thick, by the way. So skulls are.
Mine is for sure.
It might actually literally. I mean, if you're a big guy, your skull is actually fairly thick. Skull's it's like 7 to 14 millimeters. So
mine's probably a couple of inches.
A half inch, half inch thick skull ish. Yeah. So that's a fair bit of like our we got quite a coconut going on there. It's not like some eggshell.
Oh yeah, I believe you.
So you basically implant the device.
And so it would be like a 1 inch square, or 1 inch in diameter.
Yeah,
so an inch circle, like a circular.
Yeah, I think like a smartwatch or something like that, or.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you take this 1 inch diameter, like ice fishing, right? You ever go ice fishing?
No, but I'd like to.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
So you basically take an auger and you drill through the surface of the ice.
Yeah.
And you create a small hole, and you can dunk your line in there. So this is like that. You're ice fishing on the top of your skull.
And an auger is also a witch.
And then you cork it.
Yeah, and you replace that, say, 1 inch diameter piece of skull with this Neuralink device, and that has a battery and a Bluetooth and a inductive charger, and then you also got to insert the electrodes.
Yeah, it's got a Bluetooth because it links up to something else. That's what connects you to everything else. Because somebody brought up the question, well, how can they fit all this information in this device that's implanted in you? Well, he just kind of explained it. It links to something to more devices, basically.
So the electrodes are very carefully inserted with our robot that we developed. It's very carefully putting in the electrodes and avoiding any veins or arteries. So it doesn't create trauma.
So through this 1 inch diameter device, electrodes be inserted, and they will find their way.
Like tiny wires, basically.
Tiny wires.
Tiny wires.
And they'll find their way to specific areas of the brain to stimulate?
No, you literally put them where they're supposed to go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you should insert.
How long will these wires be?
I mean, they usually go in depending on where it is, 2 or 3 millimeters.
So they just find the spots.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then, then you put the device in, and that gets that replaces the little piece of skull that was taken out, and then you stitch up the hole, and then you just have a little scar, and that's it.
Will this be replaceable or reversible?
Yes.
Like if someone can't take it anymore?
Yeah, it can
I'm too smart.
No, it won't. No, it won't. How the fuck how can they put, excuse my French, how can they put wires in you and just completely grab and take that shit off after it connects with your brain? Come on now. Hey, this is 2 Thessalonians 2:10. It said, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And a lot of our people, and a lot of people in this world, they're going to completely reject, which, we're only here for the Israelites, but a lot of people are going to completely reject the scriptures. They're going to reject the definitions that have been laid out. They're going to reject all common sense, because they're going to believe all these lying wonders, and they're going to see these things that are happening where people might be healed, or they might appear, or they can send certain signals into your body, and now you can walk. All of this shit, which basically is one of the powers of Satan. All right, the angels are definitely coming. The angels are definitely coming. It said, for this cause shall the Most High shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. And with this particular instance, man, this is completely unrighteous for you to do this.
Can't take it.
Yeah, you can totally check it out.
And what is besides restoring limb function and eyesight and hearing, which are all amazing, is there any cognitive benefits that you anticipate from something like this?
Yeah, I mean, you could for sure. I mean, basically, it's a generalized sort of thing for fixing any kind of brain injury. In principle, like if you've got like severe epilepsy or something like that, it could just sort of stop the epilepsy from occurring. Like, it could detect it in real time and then fire a counter pulse and stop the epilepsy.
Yeah, they actually have, which epilepsy, that's actually one of the demons that can hop on you. All right, because it's a demon basically. You do have natural ways for you to cure that as well. All right, all of these things that they have to do all this extra stuff with. If you really have faith in the Most High, you could just seek out a natural cure for it. You don't have to get this kind of stuff. Hey, call Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Kakadash. Hey, if you get a chance, go ahead and watch the whole thing. And basically, because you have a lot of our people who are already astray, they don't want to accept the words that are spoken thousands of years ago concerning, the business of this earth. They don't want to listen to the prophets. They don't want to listen to the Heavenly Father or His Son. They don't want to be a part of any of the legacy that He has set up. And so they're going to have to be destroyed, and then Israel, we know they're going to come back anyway. All right. And this is why, man, because they're going to accept this man. He brought you here as a slave, speaking for Israel. You were brought here as a slave, or you were made a slave. And you're going to allow him to do that? And that's why 2/3, their ending isn't going to be so good, man. But Lord willing, is edifying. Shalom.